First of all, great to see you and congratulations. What does it mean to you to be on the Hall of Fame at the LMA?
Of course, I'm very flattered, I'm very honored. But more important than that is my happiness to see some good friends, especially this older generation, the generation before my arrival in England. It's amazing to see them all, and really great emotion. Mr. Roy Hodgson, Sir Alex, Martin O'Neill. It's amazing to see them. The impact on Manchester United, of course, is huge in the sense of for how many years Man United is not involved in any European competition, but at the same time it looks like they are supporting Ruben, they are giving him time and conditions to go forward. And that's, as I read some quotes from him saying that he's happy that he come and had already this 6 months. When I went to Porto, it happened the same to me. I went in January, I had a difficult 6 months. We were struggling even to qualify for UEFA Cup. And then happened what happened 2 days after. So, but when you ask me if I was cheering, I was divided because by one side, I love United. I have a fantastic relation with Ruben.
Just where they finished last season, anywhere in the European conversation is going to be a huge transformation. I think we've done this now for 12 years where we reflect back to what United should be. What is Manchester United in 2025? Well, it's not a team getting outplayed by a fairly dismal Tottenham side in the Europa League final. It's not a side that's finishing in the bottom quarter of the table. So we know that's the starting point for this conversation, and clearly there has been progress made. But I think anyone who even looks at United and says, sort of top 7 or top 8 would be a good fit, it's absolute nonsense. It's still Man United, and it's still a club that's going out spending hundreds of millions every window. So you've got what would be a good season. Look, top 4 would be exceptional. I'd also say there's no chance of it happening. I'd say top 6. They've had a very good season, but again, it's watching and seeing if it sticks. It's seeing how long they can string it together. As I said earlier, they've got actually quite a kind run of fixtures coming up. See what they do with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence. Now that the pressure's off Amorim for the time being, this could be a time when he's really able to put a stamp on this side, because so far I've not seen it from him at all.
John, you mentioned before,
Ruben Amorim feels like the first manager who I've seen who sticks with a system rather than an idea of how to play. So, I use you, Roberto, as a reference. I always know how your teams will play with the ball. That's your idea. The formation might change, but Ruben Amorim, it's like, I've said this before, the formation's his baby. And to not change it or alter it in situations like that, I don't understand how you can stick with something so steadfastly in a situation like that when it's basically, one guy up front who's not really up front. You don't need 3 players there. If you're going to keep with your system, maybe put midfield players there. We see other managers do that. Maybe you bring a centre-back off and put a midfield player there because you're going to have so much more of the ball, so much more of possession. So I actually think it's not the losing the 3 points tonight. They can make that up through the season. I think it's one of those moments where I think a lot of people will really question the manager on the back of that defeat. They'll look at the players, and we know the players should do better, but the manager will take a lot of the blame for tonight.